What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Errol Spence. Errol Spence has been adamant on targeting certain fighters, and he hasn't let off yet. His target has always been Keith Thurman, and as he crashed his interview from FightHot.com, I will leave the link in the description. And it was quite funny. It was humorous, actually, man, because Keith Thurman has been very articulate and vocal, as he gives, if he gives speeches, you know what I mean? I think he should run for president after he, finishes the sport of boxing because it looks like he's not going to be around, according to Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence came in and was like, hey, man, hey, you're going to get injured again. You're going to get injured again, and Keith one time Thurman, he was adamant on, oh, man, I want to fight. I want to fight for 3 belts. I don't want to fight for one. And Errol Spence says, man, you told me when I get a belt. As soon as I got that belt, you got injured. It was funny because through the perspective of Errol Spence, that's how it would come off. You know what I'm saying? It would come off exactly like that. That's a big coincidence. As soon as Earl the Truth Spence got the belt, he got injured. You know what I mean? And then, of course, Keith Thurman is very, he's a clever guy. He played damage control after that, after Errol Spence crashed his interview, with, hey, well, when I fought Danny Garcia, I was injured then. See, I was injured in the Danny Garcia fight. I didn't let him know because I didn't want it to go to his head. Things like that. Keith Thurman, as well as he talks a good game, and he has a mouthpiece. He has the gift of gab, obviously, but it's like that's not gonna do it. That alone won't do it. You know what I mean? And it's just funny. You got to pay attention to what people say, right? See, he says or he states that when he comes back, when he fights Errol Spence, he wants 3 belts on the line. He doesn't want one. There's 4 belts. You get where I'm going with this? So he is talking about the WBA, the IBF, and the WBC. He's not talking about the WBO. That's owned by Terrence Crawford. See, nobody wants to fight Terrence Crawford, and I don't want to hear it, oh, he's on the other side of the street. Nobody wants to fight him, and that clearly shows that Keith Thurman is not even mentioning him. He's mentioning the 3 belts because he's not even looking forward, or that's not even an option for him. You know what I mean? So it just shows that sleeping giant in the welterweight division, which is Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? So Bob Arum has showed many times that he can work with Al Heyman and other promoters. That's no exception. He worked with Oscar De La Hoya in getting the Linares fight. He worked with Felix Trinidad when Oscar De La Hoya was signed with him. This is way before Golden Boy, okay? And the Trinidad De La Hoya fight happened. So a lot of people that state like basically from networks to networks, that's just an excuse at the end of the day. If you want to fight, you can make a fight happen. Obviously, Keith Thurman nor Errol Spence, or they don't want the Terrence Crawford fight. But Errol Spence still wants Keith Thurman, right? So those are the type of fights that he's waiting for, that he might risk losing to wait around for a fight with Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Instead of going up and fighting Jared Hurd, you know what I mean, at a different weight class for a different whole set of belts. Because he doesn't understand. If he goes up and he fights Jared Swift Hurd has the WBA and he has the IBF. Okay, so you know what I mean. Like you only have one belt right now. But again, he wants the belt from Keith Thurman or whatnot. Or so be it. But I like how Earl Spence is one of the mildest guys. Yeah, he had that drunken rant that time, but soberly, he's pretty gentle. You know what I mean? And Terrence Crawford is also a gentle guy. They're real calm, cool, collective guys and all. But I think Terrence Crawford has a meaner streak than Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is more the mild-mannered guy. He was like, man, you going to get hurt again. You know what I mean? And he says things nonchalantly. And that's what I like about Errol Spence in a way, in a sense. I still think he's ducking the Terrence Crawford. That doesn't mean he isn't. But this is a different situation. Keith Thurman, has been notorious for evading, tough fights. So, this is no exception because Errol Spence would be a very tough fight for him. That's if he can beat Errol Spence. I'm not even sure if he can. A lot of people think he can't. I give him a run for the money. You know what I mean? Because we don't know how that fight will add up. Keith Thurman might, be able to pull off a victory. Maybe. That's if Errol Spence won't rip those body shots. You know what I mean? And get in those hard body punches. So, but anyway, I thought that was worth mentioning. You guys tell me what you think about Errol Spence crashing Keith Thurman's interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.